The Enfield Monster, the disturbing case of an unseen terror. In April 1973, the small town of Enfield, Illinois, became the center of one of the most bizarre and terrifying cases of alleged paranormal activity and creature sightings. What began as a strange noise outside a family home quickly turned into a disturbing and horrifying experience that left the town shaken for years to come. This story is lesser known, but has left a disturbing mark on anyone who delves into its details. It started on a calm night on April 25th, when Henry McDaniel, a local resident, heard scratching noises coming from outside his house. At first, McDaniel assumed it was an animal trying to get into his home, but when he opened the door to investigate, what he saw defied explanation. There, standing on his front porch, was a creature unlike anything he had ever seen, a grotesque, almost alien figure. McDaniel later described the creature as standing roughly 5 feet tall, with short arms, 3 legs, and glowing red eyes that seemed to burn into him as it stared. It had grey, slimy skin, long claws, and moved in a jerking, unnatural way, almost like it was hopping rather than walking. He said it hissed at him in a way that sounded more like a screech. In shock, McDaniel quickly grabbed his gun and fired at the creature. To his horror, the bullets seemed to have no effect. The creature let out a horrifying scream before jumping away, covering an incredible distance in just one leap. McDaniel stood frozen on his porch, watching as the thing disappeared into the darkness, moving faster than any human or animal he had ever seen. Terrified, McDaniel immediately called the police, who arrived on the scene but found nothing but scratch marks on the side of the house and strange tracks in the yard. The tracks were unlike anything the officers had seen before, round, dog-like prints with 6 toe-like indentations. Despite their skepticism, the police noted that McDaniel was clearly shaken and genuinely frightened by whatever he had encountered. The story quickly spread around town, and soon more people began reporting similar sightings of the strange creature. The next day, a group of local children claimed to have seen the same 3-legged beast near some train tracks, describing it with the same eerie red eyes and unnatural movements. The sightings continued for several weeks, with more locals coming forward to say they had seen the creature lurking around the outskirts of town, always moving in that unsettling, jerking way. People reported hearing strange noises in the middle of the night, scratches on their windows, hissing, and guttural growls that didn't seem to belong to any known animal. The most disturbing part of the story, however, came when McDaniel's home was attacked again just a few days later. This time, he awoke to find the creature scratching furiously at his door, as though it was trying to break in. He described the noise as deafening, a screeching sound that filled the house and made his children scream in terror. Once again, the creature seemed to vanish into the night before anyone could confront it, leaving nothing behind but deep gouges in the wooden door. The town grew increasingly fearful, with many residents afraid to leave their homes at night. The local authorities were at a loss. Some believed McDaniel and the other witnesses were mistaken or exaggerating, but the sheer number of reports made it impossible to ignore that something, whether human, animal, or otherwise, was terrorizing the town. While skeptics tried to dismiss the sightings as mass hysteria or misidentifications, there was something deeply unsettling about the way people described their encounters. The creature wasn't just something to be seen. It seemed to evoke a primal fear, an instinctual horror that shook even the most level-headed townsfolk to their core. Those who saw it said it moved in ways that made their skin crawl, like it wasn't meant to exist in the world as they knew it. As the sightings dwindled, the mystery deepened. No one ever found a body or any conclusive evidence of what had terrorized Enfield. Some speculated it might have been an unknown cryptid, an escaped lab experiment, or even an alien being, while others clung to the idea that it was simply a strange animal never before seen. But those who lived through it would never forget the terror of the Enfield Monster, the feeling of being watched from the shadows, the scratching at the door in the dead of night, or the sight of those unblinking red eyes staring at them from the darkness. In the years since the event, some investigators have tried to debunk the case, but no clear explanation has ever been offered. The witnesses have stuck to their stories, and McDaniel, in particular, went to his grave insisting that what he saw that night was real, and it was something beyond human comprehension. Today, the Enfield Monster remains one of the most disturbing and unexplained cases in American paranormal history, a chilling reminder that sometimes the things that lurk in the dark are far more terrifying than we can imagine.